brand new song for Seaside this morning. Who are you but the angel who brings the light of peace to all? You hold the power of love's devotion. It burns within you to heed the call. Who am I, brother and sister, the one who knows your gracious heart? I hold the power of love's devotion. It burns within me to play my part. Who are we but the children of the one God divine? We hold the power of love's devotion. It burns within us, spirit divine. Oh, 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 oh. We hold the power of love's devotion. It burns within us, spirit divine. We hold the power of love's devotion. It burns within us, spirit divine. It burns within us, spirit divine.
Rebecca, that is beautiful. Oh my God. I like this, you being home. You're writing new songs every week for us. This is working out. That's good. How beautiful. And, oh gosh, here we go again. Another Sunday. What a great band we got there. You know,
We have the band.
noticing all 6 feet apart, Max with his bandana and
Right.
Paul behind the screen, and got Harley in the corner.
Scarf, too.
Yeah, and Bob's, yeah.
Officially aware.
We are. That's a good thing. And, you know, driving in this morning, it was raining on me, and it was like, I didn't care. Yeah, people aren't coming anyway. But you know, we know they're there. And I just need to fill you in. Today, our tech is not working quite as well as it has because we got a new platform for our website, which is new, too. It looks really nice. But we forgot to hook up Facebook. So last week we had over 1,000 people viewing us on Facebook. So that's good. So we've got my phone. So if it's charged enough, you guys on Facebook, and also we have a chat room that's going on.
Yes.
So the chat room, you got Dana Vogt in there as well as Susan Ward, just keeping the conversation going. So we know you guys are there on Facebook and on our website. We had 1,400 people visit us the previous week. So etheric hugs to you all. We love you guys. And we know you're there. We've got a ton of emails that are coming in. I'm loving it. The contributions. You're letting us know. The sanctuary is filled. Can you feel this?
I feel, no, honestly, it feels like there's so much love and spirit in here. Even though there aren't as many bodies,
Yes.
we know the spirit and souls are here.
There's actually no bodies out there. But we can feel your
really
presence
can.
for sure.
Seriously.
It's good. And you, I know your live concerts are done for a while. Any way we can hear you?
So, there's been a whole thing, and Callie even emailed me asking if I was going to do anything, and I've had a few people reach out, and so I finally secured a date, and I'm going to do a live concert. I'm calling it homemade.
Homemade, very nice.
Little play on words. Since we'll all be home, I'm going to be making some music.
Nice.
From my house,
Yes, yes.
From the comforts of my house to the comforts of your house.
That's
so,
good.
I'm going to do it next Saturday, April 11th.
Woo!
At 3:30 in the afternoon. Just a little, half hour, 45 minutes, and just have some music.
And the whole jazz community's on that with you, right? It's
absolutely.
like the whole Jazz Cruise folks are getting you.
Yeah, everybody, there's a bunch of people that were on the Smooth Jazz cruises that have been canceled, so they're all at home too, and they want some music.
Oh, nice.
And I've had a lot of my Facebook friends and supporters reach out to ask, when are you doing a concert? So I finally decided to do one, and I'm going to do it. So this Saturday, April 11th at 3:30.
Oh, nice, nice.
And
Okay.
just Facebook Live. I'm going to do it from my music page, it's Lady Rebecca Jade, so just follow that.
Lady Rebecca, very good.
I'm a lady.
Oh, hell yes. On your Harley. So,
Ladies ride Harleys too.
yeah, that's right. You're proof of that. Well, hey, I'm so grateful you're here. So,
Thank you so much.
and so we know everybody's out there, and Seaside. What I am just reminded is that we are living our mission more than ever. It's been a great mission, and would it hold up in times like that? And really, we are a thriving spiritual community. And our mission is to inspire people to live their divinity. And at this time, more than ever, we are here to inspire you to live your divinity, to not get caught up in the fear and the headlines and the social media and the hoopla and the hysteria, and to live your divinity, to call forth that presence of God. And this is why we continue to put Spirit first always at Seaside. And so holding the light already in this sanctuary is a wonderful practitioner. And we believe holding the light is symbolic of just having our vision on that light in the midst of darkness and questions. And these candles that are sitting up here, they sit in Seaside's window through the course of the week, shining bright at night. And what's fun is people have been lighting a candle for Seaside. They've been sending me pictures. Our intention is to bring it back on our opening day when we open our doors. But I want to encourage you, because I'm getting stories and pictures personally of the candles that are being lit, but I want to encourage you to put the picture of your lit candle on our Facebook page so everybody can see the light that is going out on behalf of the spiritual impulsion of Seaside. So, but to take us a little bit deeper is a wonderful practitioner this morning, and that is Kay Samuelson, who has been holding this corner and this light since we closed the doors but opened ourselves to the world.
And it is my honor today to hold the light, hold the space of love through these trying times, knowing that there is a brighter day as we go through this together. So it is, I will light this candle representing the light within each individual of each sentient being on this planet. So it is with a full and open heart that I know that infinite spirit fills me, infinite love surrounds me, and infinite mind directs my very words. We live, move, and have our being in a unifying field of consciousness, where we are the living, breathing expression of a beloved spirit. Love is the beacon of light in our darkest days. The unifying principle of love brings truth to its clarity as the expression of courage and compassion, kindness, restoration of our wholeness. For we co-create in a universal presence that organically unfolds itself as the expression of power, strength, and purpose. For the divine spirit is that indwelling presence, always available. always waiting for our recognition. For I know as we continue to do our spiritual inward contemplation and evolution, I know the world can heal. For our spirit is resilient. As within, so without. So it is our connection with each other that I know that a sustainable world is being created, for our future is in our hands. And so as we stand together as one global heart, I know we will see a brighter day. Namaste.
Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing, blessings and grace. Mind, body, soul, and I am one with God. Blessings and grace, love overflowing, joy in this place. Spirit is showing, blessings and grace. Mind, body, soul, and I am one with God.
Rebecca Jade. Oh, man. It is good to be here with you this Sunday. Oh, so good to see you. As Dr. Christian said, we are just overwhelmed with the outpouring of love that's coming back to us through all of you, through your comments on our Facebook page. Our noonday meditation with Dr. Christian is crazy good. People are joining us from all over. And it's just amazing. This is a stack of emails that Dr. Christian has received over these last couple weeks, and this week is no different. He sent out his prayer this week, a prayer for a love pandemic. If you haven't received that, get on our Facebook page and sign up. Make sure we have your email. Some of the responses from the prayer: I'm printing the prayer you write, and I'm reading them to everyone. Have a blessed day. I will be of service to you in the center any Sunday when you need me and we are up and running. That's Angela. Thank you, Seaside, for sharing this beauty with us. Thank you for your love, friendship, support. Love you and miss you, and can't wait till we're back together again. Thanks, Rev, for a beautiful prayer. It's a blessing, and it inspired me to taste peace and joy, to see the world through eyes of faith that passes all understanding. And isn't that what we're called to do right now? To see the world through the eyes of faith, knowing that Spirit is right here and right now. That's right, right here, right now with us in this moment, even when it might not feel like it. I come in on Mondays to do our banking, and thank you to all of you that are concerned for us. We are practicing physical distancing. We are very few in numbers here in our office. It's just a couple of us that come in, and on Mondays I come in, and last Monday I sat and I opened the envelopes from all of you with tears in my eyes. It's amazing how many of you are still sending your love offerings into Seaside and keeping us going so we can be here when this is all done, so we can be here for you. We're so grateful. I want to let you know that there's a few ways that you can give, and most of you have found them, I think. There's buttons on our website, and there's buttons on our there's not a button on our Facebook page, but you can do text to give on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and anywhere, If you're taking a walk up in Torrey Pines, if you're out in the fresh air, you can text your giving into Seaside at 760-919-4828, and you can find that on our website. And after I'm down today, I'll get out of here and be in the chat room with all of you, so I'll put that up there for you today too. Another wonderful thing that we have figured out to do with technology is to set up a prayer room. So we have a prayer room on Zoom following service today. Our practitioners are waiting for you. They're there. They've been testing it and practicing it. And thank goodness for Linda Watson, one of our beautiful practitioners that has helped us get it up and running. So that also, the instructions are on the website. You can see it there. The number you want to punch in is 985-798-717. And the password, because as of today, Zoom needs a password. The password is Ernest with a capital E. Ernest, just like Ernest Holmes, E-R-N-E-S-T. So there you go. Those are the ways you can stay connected here at Seaside. Our noon meditation, people say, thank you. I'm looking forward to 12 every day and joining the conversation of love, joy, and happiness. We have people that are planning their lunch hour so they can be in meditation with Dr. Christian at noon. I was charged with coming up with some good news because, you know, all over Facebook, all over the media, we're just seeing horrible, horrible things, right? So we're going to share with some good things that are happening in the world because we know that Spirit always makes lemonade out of lemons, right? I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. One of our ministers, Rafe Ellis from Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, he posts the numbers of recoveries, and I love following him. Recovery update. This was from 2/19 yesterday. 245,981 people have recovered from the coronavirus. Right? Yes. And my cousin's husband, Ryan, is one of them. He's off the ventilator. He's doing well. He'll be home soon. So we're so grateful to know that people are recovering. People are recovering. Reverend says, people are healing. Stay home, stay uninfected. That's from Reverend Rafe. Some good news. Found a couple fun ones. I emailed my landlord of my shop asking to consider some reduced rent. She called me and has offered free rent. Her words, close your shop doors, go home and protect your family. My business will survive solely based on her kindness, and even more importantly, my children are safe, and so am I. This got me today. I bawled like a baby. I was asked this morning if I was a healthcare worker, concerned as I am that some nurses are being abused at this time. I tentatively answered that yes, I was. The lady handed me an envelope and said a family had left it behind to give to a nurse. I opened the envelope to find a beautiful Post-it and $20 cash. Conveniently, this happened today when our power had failed at home and we were expecting another large bill. Thank you to the Leslie family, wherever you are. Thank you. You don't know how much I needed it. Here's one that really touched me. We lost our furry family member 2 days ago, and it's sad. And then we weren't allowed to go in because of the virus to the vet. So they let us pull our car up into the driveway, and the vet and the nurse came to our car so we could be with Molly as she left us. We made her comfortable in her little bed and all held her so she didn't have to be alone. You know, people are doing good things. People are doing good things in our world. I like to hold to that. I like to remember that. I like to focus on that, what's working. So grateful to be here with you. We have a beautiful guest artist today, our very own beautiful, wonderful Rebecca Jade.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Rev Deb giving the good news this morning. All right, well, I wanted to follow along in the theme that Reverend Christian has been going with, which is, the Wizard of Us, and it's, we can pull from these great stories from The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz and Wicked, and so I decided to pick a wonderful song from Wicked called Defying Gravity. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts, close my eyes and leap. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I've lost. Well, if that's true, then love comes at much too high a cost. I think I'd buy defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. Unlimited. Our future is unlimited. And I've just had a vision, almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy and true. The vision's hazy, but I swear someday I'll be flying so high. Kiss me goodbye. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves the chance to fly. I'm defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. Bring me down. No.
Hey, Rebecca. Oh, my
Thank you very
goodness.
much.
Ethereal hugs. Oh, man. It's so hard not to hug you. That is.
know.
What a great song.
Likewise.
Oh, that is so
Thank
perfect.
you.
That's exactly where we're at. Defying
That's
gravity.
right.
Defying those headlines.
Absolutely.
Just defying the verdicts that are out there, the prognosis that is out there,
Yes.
listening to the healing that is going on. It is a great, great song. And for the message today. And today we are about to move to a higher level of being.
I love it.
We're on this hero's journey.
Yes.
Or heroine.
Yes,
That's it. And we're going with Dorothy. And it is like the perfect story for our journey, because this particular story is she is in the process of integrating, no brains today. We're talking about divine intelligence. But she's in the process of integrating, the head, the heart, and the gut, or the courage, the body. So it's integration of the spirit, the soul, and the body is what she is working on. And today we're working on the divine intelligence, that we are going to define what is the traditional sense of belief and how it unfolds to the spiritual perspective, but from that light that is going to shine in the darkness. And we're going to join Dorothy as we head on down the road and recognize that even though this innocent girl thinks she is returning back to Kansas in the old way of being, I wish she knew Barbara Marx Hubbard, who used to say and left us in writing what she did say, and that is an evolving system can never go back to the past. You got that? An evolving system can never go back to the past. Dorothy can't get back to the old Kansas. And when we come through this quickening, we're not going to go back to how it was. And this quickening is so profound, it is impacting the whole planet. Seldom do things impact the whole planet. And this is definitely one that we're all going to be changed. Things are going to be different. We are going to be affected. There is this grand awakening, this human awakening that is taking place. There is this energetic field that is a wave that is touching everybody on this planet. It's like a wave going through the ocean, and it just goes across. It is an energy, and everything is shifted and impacted and changed. And this change is going on now. And when one has a mystical experience, it's as if you know something happened. You're different. But you're not quite sure what it is that happened. But things are different. We're coming through this. Dorothy makes it home. The hero usually makes it back to where they started, but changed. I'm giving you the heads up that the majority of us are going to make it back through this time. Not everyone. But most of us are going to get back home to where it is we started. And we're going to do that by recognizing that what we're looking for is already within us. Ernest Holmes, he's the founder of religious science. He writes that there is a divine intelligence that is within you. Got that? There is a divine intelligence that is within you that already knows that you are one with good. And your destiny is certain. And you have to listen to your intuition, for it is the voice of God within you. You got that? Your destiny is certain. But you have to listen to your intuition, for it is the voice of God that is within you. And so this is why we go out on the hero's journey. This is why we take off down this yellow brick road, if you would. You're not quite sure where it's going to take us. But you know what? There's something that has called me, and I'm going forth. And I'm going to come across times where I'm stirred and I am shaken, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And that is the time in our life, if all of a sudden the fear, the anxiety takes over, you've got to remember that you need to recalibrate. You need to realign yourself. You need to calibrate with the love and the light and the truth and the good that is already yours, because your destiny is certain. And so I've got to begin to put my awareness and my focus on that. But if the situations at hand are screaming at me from headlines, from people, from the social media, from the family and the friends to do this and do that, yes, you need to do what it is that makes you safe. Yes, you've got to be willing to do what it takes, whether it's, shelter yourself, wash your hands, but you also need to remember that your destiny is certain, that you are safe and that you are good, that you're one with the good now. And so as you begin to do that, you do that by breathing. You stop. All the spiritual practices, remember to breathe, to recalibrate, to feel the love, to allow that spirit to move through you. And as you do that, something begins to happen. You're moved by spirit. Go outside, get your feet on the ground, get the sun on your body. Go ahead and do what it takes to allow yourself to return back to this earth now in this present moment. Listen to the birds sing, take a walk, feel the wind against your face, and recognize, okay, man, you've made it through the first door, the first threshold. And there's Dorothy heading down the yellow brick road, feeling pretty good. She's got her innocence going on. She's got her ruby slippers. The flowers are big and colorful. She's got this ever vivacious little pup, just nipping along at her feet as she's walking down the road. And then she comes to the crossroad, which is part of every mythic journey there is. It is where we come to in our life. We come to a crossroads, and what am I going to do? Which way am I going to go? Am I going to be a panic for, am I going to have the fear take over? Am I going to panic like a manic and take this road? Or am I going to take this road that's going to possibly lead me to love and to joy? Well, Dorothy's sitting here at this crossroad wondering out loud, or at least to herself out loud, should I go this way or should I go that way? And she hears, that's a good way. She looks up and wonders, what was that? She says, Toto, did that scarecrow talk? He said, well, that's a pretty good way too. She looked and said, did you talk? And then he said, well, both ways are pretty good. People go both ways. And it's like, really? What's going on there? And then, as we know, kind of gets into this dialogue here. It's as if, what are we going to do here? It's like there is a talking scarecrow. They don't have anything like this in Kansas. And he says, I don't have any brains. And she said, how's that possible? You talked. And I love this line. And he said, well, there are people who do an awful lot of talking who don't have brains. And it's like, wow, that's pretty profound stuff. And so as we begin to recognize that there is a higher wisdom that is seeking to operate here, and that we have to move beyond the present situation that we're thinking is that, there is a higher way here. I may feel as if I don't have brains, but if I'm going to come down off my stuckness and step out onto the road, am I going to go right or am I going to go left? Am I going to panic like a manic or am I going to choose the joyous route? Joseph Campbell, the master of the mythical, he said that, we're not going to cure the sorrows of the world, but we can live joyously in the sorrows of the world. We can't cure the sorrows of the world, but we can live joyously in that. All of a sudden I can choose to walk down this yellow brick road and begin to be in a place of joy. I'm going to be in a place of intrigue. I'm going to be in a place of adventure. I'm going to be in a place where, there's greater something that's in store for me right here. And so as I begin to trust this journey, and that's a big thing of what we're into, that's what this quickening is about, I think, is slowing down enough to learn to trust your inner voice, to be inspired to live your divinity, which is Seaside's mission, is to assist us to live in a place where we are able to express that spirit in the midst of our concern and our fear and our worry. And so Dorothy's saying to the scarecrow, man, if you're in Kansas, you'd be pretty smart compared to our scarecrows that are there. He said, yeah, but look, I can't even scare crows away. They steal my corn. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I'm just not enough. It's because I have no brains. And she said, that's kind of ridiculous. Come along. You can talk to the wizard. Maybe he can give you some brains. And we know that his journey is about coming to discover that he already has those brains. Jean Houston, whose book I'm following through this Wizard of Oz journey and the Wizard of Us, she points out that, and I love her analogy, that, we've got this 3-pound universe, biomass extravaganza that has 100 billion neurons with trillions of connections that they're making. Its ability to decode the memories of millennia and as well as dream into the future. It has the ability to synchronize language and thoughts and communicate them and connect with individuals. And to think, I don't have a brain. You've got a brain. And you are enough for whatever is necessary in your world and that is on your path. But you've got to come down off where you are stuck and your thinking and your pattern and begin to walk this path, this yellow brick road, maybe not quite sure where it's going, but you got to realize that your destiny is certain, as Ernest Holmes said. Richard Bach said, if you're looking for somebody who can fix all situations, who can bring happiness no matter what people say and believe, then look into the mirror and say the magic word. Hello. It's you that you've been looking for. You have got what it takes to be able to do what you're being called to do in life. You've got to know that you have got, that kind of smarts. And never are you powerless. Oh, you may forget for a moment who you are and who you're one with and what your destiny is, but it's not because you are powerless. It's because you have forgotten that this infinite intelligence is moving through you and the good has already been given. And so Jean Houston, she talks a little bit about the wisdom that is within us and the neuroplasticity, which is the neuro, meaning those neurons, those brain cells, and the plasticity that is malleable, that can be formed. And that, you know what, we used to think that the brain was like hardwired, like machinery, that once it was set, it was set. But what we have come to discover is that it is constantly creating new neural pathways. Those neurons that fire together, wire together, is what we have been told by many people who work in the realm of the brain. But Jean Houston, she writes in this book that we're talking from here, that I want to share with you, is that just because the spirit cannot be measured, nor the soul charted, does not mean that they do not exist, or that they do not have profound powers to influence the mind and being of a person. For we know that the neuroplasticity may prove to be a curse as well as a blessing. For the brain can think itself into ruts with electrical habits as difficult to eradicate as if it were, in fact, the immutable machine we felt it was. And of course, the implications of the external engineering of the human brain are ominous. For if the brain is malleable, it is also endlessly vulnerable, not only to its own mistakes, but also to the ambitions and the excesses of others. Whether they are misguided parents, well-meaning cultural trendsetters, or despotic national leaders. I share that because as we go down this yellow brick road, and we start off in a good place, knowing that our destiny is certain, that we will return, will be different. We got all our spiritual stuff in line. But all of a sudden, this brain, which is a wonderful gift we were given when we incarnated in this body, can be directed by our mind, that higher self, that can get the body and our life that outpictures to respond. But it also can be influenced by other influences, the media, people, headlines, social interaction, the movies, and all those things. And so we want to be careful. And when we come up to our place of challenge, let us not fall into looking outside, but rather what we want to do is look inside. And this is what's going on in this big cosmic pause, is that we're being told to slow down, to look within, and begin to trust that deeper aspect, that higher aspect of our being through this time. We're going to come through this. We know that for sure. But you know what? Are you learning? Are you taking advantage of this opportunity to move within and develop an awareness of what your inner voice sounds like, to be inspired from your own inner self with the questions at hand? This is what part of the process looks like as we begin to listen to that and recognize that, you know what, the difficulties, the problems, the challenges that we come up with in our spiritual life are really our opportunities to learn, our opportunities to develop a greater, higher awareness and practice with what is going on. Yeah, that's true, Christian, when I'm dealing with finances or relationships, but with a virus, there is no large or small in the mind of God. It is all spirit. It is fully present everywhere. That's what the fractal universe is about, the full presence right there in that very moment. And as you begin to take the time to feel and sense and reflect, the scarecrow, one of his wonderful gifts is that, he started to think. The first thing is, I'm stuck. That's a pretty good basic awareness. I'm stuck. How many of us in our life can take a look and say, where am I stuck? The sacred circles this week, which are those small home groups that are being done on Zoom. And if you want to be involved, it's an hour and 15 minutes, just conversation facilitated by a practitioner about the Sunday message. Just go to our website, seasidecenter.org, hit the education page and say, I want to be part of this small group that meets 7 days a week. Pick one that works. But this week they're going to ask you, what are your crossroads? I'm going to go this way or that way. Maybe you'll come to the realization it doesn't matter which way you go, you're still going to get where you're supposed to go because your destiny's certain. You get to just do it with joy, or you get to do it with pain. Spirit doesn't care. You're going to get there. They're going to ask you, in this reflection, where is it that you're stuck? To be able to speak it into a space and have people pray is powerful. So the first thing Scarecrow said is, I'm stuck. Second thing is he began to use language, and he asked for help. Pretty nice. But what's interesting is before he asked for help, he had to use his imaginal abilities, had to use that higher intelligence, had to use that infinite intelligence that was greater than his stuckness and say, okay, I'm stuck. What else is possible here? And with that, he asked for help, and he jumped down, and he started moving his body. He started to move and groove and flimsy, which is really good for brain work, is to get the different hemispheres of your brain working with the thought and get it in. And then, what are you going to do with those brains, Dorothy asked him. And I love this. He sang the song, I would while away the hours conferring with the flowers, conversing with the rain. I love that song because my first starring role on stage in elementary school, I was the Scarecrow. And I was sure I was the star of that show. And I soloed that song. And Rebecca, I want you to know that is the last time I've ever done a solo in public. I must have had some psychological damage done around singing at that point in my life. So God gave me a speaking voice. And so here I am. I'm speaking. But one of the things that began to happen naturally for the Scarecrow, which developed and tapped into the infinite wisdom, is he began to contemplate. Now, that's a silly mythical story of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, but it's profound because the Buddhists, they talk about being mindful. The Hindus work on meditation. Christians work on contemplation. We're working about going into the gap, the void, the space, and being available in the field of a greater possibility that is seeking to express itself. And what for? So you can begin to discover more of who you are. Well, I don't like what's going on in there. That's surface stuff. You are infinite wisdom. You are divine intelligence. You go through that. And that's what's happening right now in this cosmic pause, is people are doing this introspection. They're doing, almost seeing their life pass before their eyes. They are remembering. Have you been remembering things you haven't thought about in a long time? Yeah, I'll bet you have. Remembering that relationship and the lessons you got from that. You're remembering maybe some loss in your life, maybe someone who had died and moved on, someone who moved out of the house, an ending or a new beginning. As people are reminiscing their life lessons, their insights, their earlier life, maybe for some past lives are coming up if you're into that. All of a sudden, we have slowed down to the point where we have become available to catch the gifts and the lessons and the insight and the divine touchdowns that have blessed and graced our world from the beginning of our walk on this planet. If you're not filled with panic and fear, if you're not panicking like a manic, it's like you have some availability to be available to remember, to realign, to recalibrate, to refresh. I got a lot of them. But what I'm saying is, are you doing that? The Scarecrow did, conversing with the flowers. That's pretty profound, I guess. What are you doing in this time? Ernest Holmes, he's the founder of our philosophy, as I shared. And I love this one. He said, I let the divine within me, using whatever method it may, to restore me. Got that? To restore me. Whatever method's necessary to restore me to perfect health, perfect happiness, harmony, and bring into my experience everything that is good, that is perfect, and that is true and successful. And I'm not only one with this Spirit, but this Spirit is all that I am. It is my whole being, and this divine intelligence is my very thought, causing me to act and move intelligently, to make the right choices and to follow the right pursuits. And there are no problems in this divine wisdom. Therefore, the road is made straight before me, and every obstacle is removed, and I am led, irresistibly led, to the absolute, certain, the goal of good. The goal is certain. He goes back to tell us of good. And so I've got to trust what is coming up for cleansing and cleaning. And what I'm noticing is there's people are sharing with me how they're cleaning out closets. Didn't you say that last week? Yeah, how's it going? Yeah. Well, I'm finding it's very natural. People are, what's out picturing is our thoughts. And what's the outer world is what's coming from the inside. I'm cleaning, I'm cleansing, I'm moving furniture, I'm changing pictures. People are looking for the change. They're evaluating. It shows up going on the outside. I found myself sitting there looking at, Netflix, trying to find out what we're going to watch tonight. And I'm watching all these previews. It's war, it's contagion, it's viruses, it's murder, it's mayhem. And I just imagine if there was some, I don't know, let's say extraterrestrial being looking down at what we do for entertainment, what we do as a species as entertainment is we watch murder. Murder, She Wrote, how to, do this murder show. And we watch wars. We watch superheroes destroying things. What we do as a species is watch murder. How many murders have you seen on TV this last week? You don't really, for those who aren't watching, very good. But I want us to understand that this is a time of reflection because we're coming through and we're going to get back to Kansas. But we're going to be different. We're going to get back to our high-speed, very active society. 5Gs, it's probably going to be even faster if it doesn't fry our brains or our immune system. But we are going to get back to the supersonic speed, how we were before we went into this cosmic pause. But are you going to be different with it? Are you going to give your power away to that speed and think that, it's... this is just the way it is. You become addicted once again to fatigue and being exhausted. I'm telling you, be prepared before stepping out that final threshold back into this world that seems to be functioning again because it will be functioning differently. Because you are different. You have been changed. You have gone over that rainbow. You have walked down this road where, birds sing and fly. And you know what? It's an interesting time for sure. But it is a time in which the human spirit is rising. It is a time where Seaside is committed to inspiring people to live their divinity, not their fear, not their panic. Do what is smart, but you know what? You need the integration of the divine intelligence. Today, it's about the scarecrow and the brain. Next week, for Easter, it's going to be about the heart and that tin guy. And then it is about the gut, the courage, the body of the lion. It's the integration of all three, and we have to go down this path before we face what we perceive as the wizard, only to discover later on that it's more than that. See, our life is more than what we think. We are more than human. We come to realize we are more than this human experience. We are this higher intelligence, this infinite wisdom that is touching down here. But what has happened in this vehicle we've got, this body, is we think this is who we are. We forget that we are, as I said, the fractal. It contains the whole in the piece. We talk about the holographic universe, right? A holograph, you take a little piece of the holograph and it has the whole picture. It has the whole image. What I'm getting at here is you are that piece of the whole picture. You have contained within you the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent expression of it all. And that is the higher intelligence, the divine intelligence that is seeking to come out. And if we were just to sit complacent as we were last month, doing what we had done in the patterns we had established, comfortable somewhat in our particular norm, that would have been fine. We have to be thrust into this moment. Something has to trigger us or our species will die because it will not progress. But with evolution, as Barbara Marx Hubbard said, there is no going back to the past. We'll step out of the door into our yard once again and be with our family and friends. But how are you going to be with them? Are you going to be the same old, which will really be old and way behind? Are you going to be available for that which is seeking to express itself new as you? You're the only one who can decide this. I'm not talking about the physical brain's decision. I'm talking about the divine mind, the divine intelligence that uses your brain. That through whiling away the hours and conferring with flowers and conversing with the rain and thinking about why the shore meets the ocean kind of things, you'll be led to something more deep or more valuable, more relevant in your life for today. Just follow the yellow brick road somewhere over the rainbow. Rebecca, got a song for us.
My goodness, yet another powerful message this morning. Thank you so much. To tag along right to the end of your message, we picked the song that I think everybody knows and is familiar with, and it's just such a beautiful message, an uplifting message, and it's from the great Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. That you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Where troubles like lemon drops, way above the treetops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over
Rebecca Jane. I love it when you sing. Thank you.
Thank you. I love when I get to sing.
Good,
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, like, let's do it again next week.
Okay.
It's Easter. I'll tell you what, you bring some friends with you
You know
next
what?
week.
I'm going to bring some friends.
Oh, yeah, who you bringing?
I'm going to bring Lauren Lee Martin.
Sweet.
And Carissa Schrader. Will be
Nice.
the three of us singing, and Carl Anthony will be here as well.
Oh, my.
It's going to be a party.
Well, then I'll bring a couple ministers.
Socially distanced.
Right.
But it will be a party nonetheless.
Right, we're going to put tape on the stage. Okay, it's going to go this far, so
That's right.
we'll make sure it's safe for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Same time, and we're going to have Facebook working. And those of you at Facebook and came back on, I thank you for sticking to it. We have a wonderful creator for 15 years of our live streaming, Tim Griffin, and he knows how to figure everything out. And he did masterful putting us onto a new platform, and Facebook is going to follow. So Tim, we love you. Those at home that came back to Facebook, we love you. And those of you that are on our live, on our platform, hey, it's just this big old etheric happy hug thing going on right here. I can feel this room is filled with you, and it is so good. And so we're not going to miss this opportunity for giving. We don't on Sundays when we're together, and we're not going to miss it virtually. And as Reverend Debbie shared, how wonderful to have her home, is that there's all sorts of ways in which you can support it. I mean, thank you everyone who mails in contributions. That is fabulous. And what has really been a solid foundation of those that committed at the beginning of the year say, hey, count me in for Seaside whether I'm there or not. Here's my auto tithe. And all of you have committed, have stuck to that. And I've got a letter going out to you this week. Thank you. But also we have virtual ways to give. We've got that donate button, not on Facebook yet, but on the live platform. We have it there. We have it on the Seaside page. We've got this Vimo. Yeah, you got to get the number. I don't know about that. Well, you're going beyond my tech ability. But I have been taught how to post daily meditations. First time I've done that, so my brain is palatable for those new neural pathways. The neuroplasticity of my thinkers, it still works. So anyway, I'm going to share this prayer of gratitude for the wonderful givingness, all of you, and then I'll put up our affirmation of abundance. We'll say that together, okay? Yeah, so as I just open my heart and soul. Oh, whew. I can feel you. Oh, I feel the love. This room is packed beyond capacity. There is a life force, and there is an energy, and there is a love. There is no otherness. The presence of God is. And in the isness, the divine has its way. And I know that each and every one of us is truly living this divinity, this wonderful expression in our life now. We're not waiting for anything to be fixed. We're living that now. We lift our candle and our light for the world. And so with a sense of joy, I give from this place of lightness, of trust and faith and belief. I listen to my deeper self speak, my higher self. From that mountaintop view, I see as Spirit sees. I know getting back, but at the next rung of this spiral, the next iteration of the life, because life moves forward. So in this givingness, it continues to open that pathway and keep that channel open. And the flow of Spirit continues to carry us forward in life. So I give with a sense of joy. I live in this time in this world, as Ernest said, joyously in this world. And my outpicturing in this world is Spirit made manifest. So grateful that this is the truth manifesting here and now. I give from this ever-flowing abundance, knowing I am sourced in all the places that are relevant and real and particular for me. That is the abundant good. It's omnipresent, taking whatever shape is necessary, bringing a peace, a calm, a security, a sense of well-being, allowing me to live the light, the divinity of my being. And so it is. Amen. And together, let us say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. those are our guys from Seaside. That is Maxwell on the Paul Lloyd Warner Busendorfer. And that's Paul there in the back in the drums. And that's Harley on the bass fiddle. And there is Bob Mathis leading the pack. Just thank you guys week after week. It is great. Rebecca, week after week, it is great. I love you being here in San Diego. It is good. So, and I know your music goes well. And your Saturday house concert, they just go to
My Facebook music page, which is Lady Rebecca Jade.
Rebecca Lady Jade, right there.
Lady Rebecca Jade.
Lady Rebecca Jade, okay, and they can find out or watch your house concert. Okay, Saturday, good. Hey, Facebook, I understand I got a Facebook page, so yeah, just put it on there. People are putting their candles on there, I understand, so that is good. And Kay, thank you for holding the light, and you represent 50 spiritual licensed practitioners of Seaside, and they are praying. They have set up these sacred circles through Zoom, and so we have these small groups, and I invite you, wherever you are in the country or the planet, to join us. We've got different times, 7 days a week. It's a small group, and the intention is for you not to be alone. How are you doing with that? Are you having the deeper conversation? So, we're here for you. Also, what we're doing today for the first time, and so, work with us on this, but after the service, our practitioners are available for prayer, just like any Sunday. You just go to our web page that has the Zoom link. You hit that Zoom link and put in the password, which is Ernest, capital E, Ernest. So that's available to you. We want to remain connected. I sent a letter out to you. If you didn't get your Easter letter from me yesterday or Friday, it's because I don't have your mailing address. That would be the only reason, because I love you, and I'd love for you to have that. So make sure if you're not getting emails, it's because I don't have your email. If you didn't get the written snail mail, it's because I didn't have it. So, but anyway, there's a lot going on. Next Sunday's big, Easter, with all our friends coming together at a safe distance. And what I want to do is pray. It's the healing of our movement, and that's what can happen, is the non-local expression of Spirit made manifest in our life. And so right now in this moment, I can feel the love that fills this sanctuary. I can feel the love of this family that transcends this time and space. I feel and sense the motion, the movement of God within my being, and I speak from this place of connectedness, coming to recognize the greater interconnectedness of humanity, indicative of the interconnectedness with the ethereal realm, the infinite realm, for truly I am a facet, a fractal, a piece of that holographic universe. The totality that is represented in that which I am in this moment speaks from that higher view, from that revelation, knowing the truth of this time is that it is Spirit made manifest. Been praying and praying for a change. Been praying and praying for a healing and a shift. Well, you know what? This is what it is looking like. And I know that I can stand with a deep-rooted trust in the unfoldment of God made manifest, the magnificent manifestation of Spirit. For truly the blessings and the grace of God, the tautological God seed that blossoms all around, meaning that it is the same everywhere without needing to be described. It is just known. It is felt. It is sensed. No matter what angle in which one looks at it, from what continent one looks at it from another. There is this oneness that is happening, and is in this spiritual flow. Anything unlike it dissolves. It falls away. It screams and hollers on its way out. It makes noise, but it is going. And what remains is the emergence of that greater yet to be, is the life force that is finding particular expression in our life with an ease and a grace. So in this time of concern or panic, it's the human experience. But we're being invited to repattern the neurological pathways of our seeing. And we do that through the contemplation and the meditation and the reflection of that presence, stepping into the Taoist sense of the flow of life that will take me to a higher way of being. And healing happens in our life, in our relationships, in our emotions. For what we're on in this journey is the integration of the head, the heart, and the body, the spirit, the soul, and form. Dorothy's taking us down our very own path. And we continue to reflect, where are my crossroads? And that there is a divine intelligence that knows which is my way to go. It takes us to those points and recognizing I'm stuck. But something is activated that opens up the imaginable possibilities for the divine download to show what is next, not only for the individual, but for all of our country, for all of this planet. There is a divine intelligence that is operating that knows no large or small. It works at the individual, it works at the cosmic. And so I know right now every prayer request that's been brought forth to Seaside, every prayer request that has been mailed in is manifesting. We heard about Reverend Debbie's cousin, Ryan, who is a ventilator and is now off and doing well. For our beloved practitioner, Annie, who is a nurse, who is a caregiver, who is right in the heart of it all, giving of herself 100%, having some conditions. I know she knows a sense of peace as her body returns to a place of wholeness for what she has done is she is given with a sense of love and well-being. And for Michelle Hunter, who is also being gripped with the concern of diagnosis to what's happening in the collective. I know right where she is, the presence of God brings a peace and a physical healing within her body. Just reminiscing in this moment of all those cases that have healed themselves in our country within the last few weeks. For truly the blessing of the Spirit moves for Cheryl Mekovich's oldest daughter, Holland Yavara, who is in the hospital right now. That right where she is, she's able to be with a sense of peace as the Spirit works through the doctors and the medical modalities and the equipment to restore her sense of health and well-being so she can go home. Mom will fly to Florida safely to be with her in this time of recovery. For our beloved sister, Peggy Lebo, whose dad stepped on to the other side this week, that Bert moves on with those wonderful currents of eternality, free from any of the pains of the past, able to express his soul with a sense of ministering in a new kind of light and a way. The blessings and the grace is with him, as well as those left behind for Peggy's mom, Lenore, as well. That those girls, Peggy and Mom, are surrounded in a light and a love and a sense of well-being, for the blessings and the grace of God truly is expressing itself in this moment. And it's in this divine realization, having heard that, it could be a rougher week. Well, I know this moment is the turnaround moment, that this is the moment that things begin to decline, that this is the moment that the declining means and reports that are being surfaced upon our planet, that truly there is a shift that has taken place at a planetary level, that the human bodies have become immune to what has been going around, and there is a quickening that is taking place in this human form. It is a miracle, it is amazing, it is God made manifest that this is the moment that positive turnaround is happening, and that we quantumly jump to the next rung of this spiral, of this evolution, seeing and hearing reports of healing and manifestation and good that is going on, that the revelation of the transformation of this fear on this planet has happened, and love prevails. This is what is moving like a wildfire around our planet. I am grateful. I'm grateful that this is happening, that it's unfolding, that it is manifesting and having its way in the human condition. This I am grateful to see, to proclaim, and to see, and to hold my candle high for the world to know the light in the midst of their concern and darkness. Grateful to know that I am joined in bringing this light and this greater possibility, this new thought and this new perspective, for it is truly the divine downloading into the collective consciousness of humanity, and we have been called for a time such as this to bring the new thought for all to believe and have an out picture in the world in which we live. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Sing it from your home or wherever you're watching. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yay.
I know God's good is my good.
now. I know God's good is my good now. God's good is my good now. I know God's good is my good now.
I love you.
Yeah.
They're all for all.